Hello. For those of you who are, this is really awesome. I'm gonna do all my videos like this from now on. For those of you who are not watching this live and watching the recording on my YouTube channel, thank you for checking me out. Where's the camera right there? Thank you for stopping by. This is going to be, I'm sculpting her hair today. It's a Jessica Jones Marvel Legends character or figure, but I'm going to be turning her into a Talia Warroad from the current Ghostbusters Ghost Rider comic series. She's a really cool new character. This is a commission that I have, so I'm going to sculpt some hair for her. I can't see comments for some reason, so which is fine because the whole point of doing this tonight was just to kind of like um, have some peace and quiet. I got Christmas movies on in the background, and I'm going to be sculpting. So I would suggest, if you're watching, for you also to put some movies on in the background, maybe, and watch as I sculpt her hair. So she has a look her up, Talia Warroad. She has like a real short, kind of like pixie cut, not a pixie cut. Um, I don't know what you call it. She has short hair, but it's kind of like flares out and stuff. Let me grab. I don't really have an example. You can look her up, but I'm going to, as you can tell, I ripped Jessica Jones' hair all the way off. So I need to start from scratch, which is fine. I do that. I do that all the time. Her head is a little loose here on the peg, so I'm going to be putting some. Is this still cool? Like down here, like this? This is cool. All right. Like I said, I can't see comments right now for some weird reason. So thank you. Or maybe I can. I just got an alert. Here you go. What movie are you gonna watch? Oh, I can't see comments. Cool. Right now I've got Home Alone 2 on in the background, which is like one of the best, right? I'm a very I'm a very Christmas man. I'm a Christmas man, so I love my Christmas movies. And yeah, that's what's gonna happen. So anyway, I'm gonna get down to it. But yeah, oh, as I was saying, let me grab. Her head's a little loose here, so I'm gonna grab a little bit of sticky tack. Hey Daniel, sticky tack here, stretchy sticky tack, and I'm going to pop her head off, which pops off pretty easy. I'm gonna put a little bit of sticky tack down in the hole there. Plop. I'm gonna put the head back on, and that like makes it a lot tighter. I'll take that sticky tack out when I'm done. But that'll give me like it'll keep the head from moving too much while I'm sculpting, which is fine. I'll move a little bit. Tools. Let's look at tools that I'm using. I've got a couple silicone tipped brushy things. I'm about to open my Horseman Santa while I watch Christmas movies. Cool. Chuckle shirt. Awesome. Charlie, what's up? I'm in that boat right now trying to figure out what to watch. I think, oh man, the comment disappeared. They're like disappearing. I can't reach them. I can't read them. Anyway, thanks for stopping in, Charlie. So I've got these silicone tip brushes that I'm going to be using. I got my trusty, this is my favorite one out of my dentist tools. It's like looks like a spear almost. Here's the other end right there. That's one of my favorites. Oh, snap. Joseph Fresh. Man, where have you been, man? I know you've been busy. Good to see you, Joseph. I got some tweezers. I picked these up just now. I'm not going to be using these. I don't know why they're in my hand. Let's get rid of those. Scalpel, whatever you call this thing. Scalpel? What is this? This is a Rambo knife? I don't know. So these are like the main four that I'm going to be using. All right. I got my two-part Aves epoxy sculpt. Two-part Aves sculpt epoxy, whatever it's called. I'll be mixing some of that together. And my Aves safety solvent. Good to see you. Don't run with those scissors. I won't. Aves doesn't sponsor me at the moment, but I love their products. So I'm using the epoxy sculpt. I'm using their safety solvent. If you don't have this, water works just as fine or just as well. This works better. So that was a total lie. But water works. That's what I usually used to use is water. And I just kind of put a little bit of that in a little cappy do right here, a little cappy do, and dip my finger in it from time to time. Charlie, you're a liar. This is a Rambo knife. What else? So yeah, those are my tools. I think that's pretty much it. All right, so I'm gonna get to work. I probably won't be talking too much. That's why I put the movie on in the background. So this is kind of like Zen time. Things have been really stressful lately, so I'm just like gonna zone out, catch up on some work. I hope you will zone out with me. Let's do it. I'm gonna look at the screen though from time to time. I'll be able to see like comments as they pop up, I suppose, and comment on them. I wonder if I can give you guys a better background than that. Here's a little sculpty guy. Here's a big sculpty guy. Oh, I got it. Here, I'll get you a better background. Hold on. I got something that's better for the background. Let's see. There you go. Yeah? He's in the way. Get out the way, man. Still leaving him there. Leave her right there. Can you see? Got some oats? Still in the way. Why is it in the way? There we go. Oats. Yeah. Got some oats. All right. I'm going to sculpt. I'm going to do some work. Do some works. Got my Aves. Again, for those of you who are tuning in new, giving her some hair. Right there. I don't know how long I'll be sitting here. Sitting here for a while. So here's the two. This stuff is a suggestion. If you guys use Aves epoxy, 2-part sculpt, it's great. But I would recommend getting the smaller container that's like a third of this size, because I've had this for so long, it's starting to get weird in there. See how it's like discolored? Still usable and still good, but yeah, I'm gonna get, next time around, I'm gonna get a smaller container for sure. So get some of this. What is this part? It's part A. Go over there. I'm gonna give you guys. You guys want to? I'm gonna give you guys a exclusive tease. Look at this. What do you think this is gonna be? Let's see. See if I can get this back together. Get it on. It's for a custom that's coming out. What? What? That's all you get. That's a tease. All right. Hopefully by the time like this video goes viral, I'll have that figure done. Viral. All right. So I just eyeball the amounts. That eyeball's a little too big. So what we got? Whoa, what the hell was that monster? Oh yeah. I can't tell you because it's a special Christmas prize for someone. So you guys just get an exclusive sneak peek. Stay tuned though, you'll definitely see it. What's the difference between Fix-It Sculpt and Epoxy Sculpt? I have both, but can't tell. So I've never used Fix-It Sculpt, but from what I gather, and I'm just assuming you guys can hear me. Somebody give me a thumbs up if you can hear me all right. The difference between Fix-It Sculpt and Aves Epoxy, or stuff that you sculpt with this stuff. Fix-It Sculpt is like for fixing cracks or crevice and creases. Smaller. Thanks, Charlie. Smaller jobs. But with this stuff, you can sculpt anything really if you have enough of it. I mean, you guys have seen my like. Let me grab this guy just for an example. Everything's gonna fall over. Man, keep your desk as decluttered as you possibly can. So let's see. Yep. So sculpting stuff like that. I don't know why it's blurry. I don't know, whatever. You guys can tell. His mask, his scarf you do. That's Aves epoxy, right? And there's also stuff like, this guy over here, his whole body is sculpted. His head is sculpted. It's like massive. So, you can do, I don't have my Chud baby. Where's my Chud baby? But this guy is like solid sculpt, Aves epoxy sculpt that I did. It's one of my MABA figures that I haven't had time to release. But so yeah, so the biggest difference is you sculpt objects with this stuff. Fix It is more for fixing cracked stuff. I wouldn't recommend doing full blown sculpt jobs with the Fix It stuff. All right, get this out of here. Excuse me. Who's got my drink? A little coffee. I got a little coffee. Sister gave me this mug. Got my two pieces, mushing them together. You can mush them and fold them, and it's like dough. You got to make it seamless. And the best way to do that is to get it into a little ball, two parts, and then just turn it into a snake, fold it back together, turn it into another snake, fold it back together. Just keep going until it's fully mixed. It's pretty good. You don't want to see any discoloration. It should be pretty much solid white like that. Got oats back there. Can't wait for you guys to see, or at least my Patreon. If you guys are a member of my Patreon, first of all, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for being there. Thanks for the support. I just finished our holiday cards, Christmas cards, that are going out to patrons this week. I cannot wait for them to get them because I'm looking at it right now. It's behind the camera. It's probably one of the best cards that I've made. One of the best graphic design jobs that I've done in a while, I guess you could say. All right, it's mixed. It's about as good as it gets. So like I said, Talia has short hair. I need to bring up a picture of her on my computer. Right there. Backwards. This guy. I wish I could show you guys what she looks like. Maybe I'll turn the camera around real quick. Would that help? All right, I'll show you. I'm going to turn the camera around real quick just so you can see what I'm doing. I don't even know. I can't tell. I can't see. Maybe you can see her? Talia Warroad right there. Talia Warroad. I don't know. Can you see? I hope you can see. As good as it gets. All right. All right. So this is how this is going to go. She's got short hair. It's kind of spiky. Kind of like domino. We saw. Good. Awesome. Thanks. Thumbs up. Awesome. Thanks everybody for the interaction and the assist there. One thing you want to make sure, which I'm grabbing right now, is a little piece of plastic and hair that got into the sculpt. You don't want any of that. So make sure your desk is clean, like up in here. All right. What I like to do first, she's got these like holes and divots where the plastic hair was stuck in and glued. You don't necessarily need to clean the stuff off, but you want to make sure that you mix enough to fill those holes and to cover her head. And done. All done. What do you guys think? No, I'm kidding. That's a joke. It's a Christmas joke. Now I'm done. No, I'm kidding. I hope this goes all right. I don't usually like sculpting or painting on camera or on like live camera, because I can't edit it. And if I need to if I screw something up, or, when you're working for the camera, it's hard to maintain perspective on what you should be focusing on. And I'll probably stop talking here in a little bit once I get down to the nitty gritty. But I'm just shaping it to her head here. Her posture is really bad. To Jessica Jones have bad posture in the show? I don't know. Um, so I'm looking at her picture and trying to get the shape of her hair. She's going to have less in the back. Another thing, I know some guys that work, or some people, some folks that work with this Abe's epoxy sculpt or whatever you're sculpting. They use gloves. I don't. I don't know if that means bad things are going to happen to me or what. Just don't eat it. Don't get it in your eye. I think you'd be all right, but don't take my word for it. Look that up. But the gloves, for me, they get in the way. They stick to it. Makes it. Everybody that I've heard complain about this stuff, as far as like working with it, uses gloves, and they're like, "Oh, it's too sticky. You can't work with it. It's hard to work with." Well, you're wearing gloves, and it's like, excuse me, sticking to your gloves, and it's weird. So, all right. All right. I wonder if I can turn. I wonder if I can go like this. Put this gentleman over here. Move this stuff over here, and get you guys a little more light, a little better. Oh, my glasses. What are those? I got these glasses from Walgreens. All right. So you find her part, the part of her hair kind of goes this way and then this way. And then you get rid of that. It's very strange looking. If you guys, I can still see the screen. If you guys have any questions, comments. Anybody pick a movie? Anybody watching anything? Charlie, did you find something? That. All right, here's where I'm at so far. Still contemplating. It looks so weird, right? This looks like it's going to be garbage. I promise it won't look like garbage once it's done. So anyway, this custom is going out to someone who had a commission with me, and then when they had a different character commission with me, and I was just about to start working on the commission, and then they were like, "Hey, is it too late to switch it out because this character is awesome in Ghost Rider?" And I was like, "Hey, if you're up, you're up. Um, we can switch it to whatever you want." So we switched. I'm so glad because I really like Talia Warroad. She's like a female Damien Hellstrom in a lot of ways. She's got like hex powers or something going on. So a lot of sculpting is it's shaping, you know. If that makes sense. Um, and this will have to be done in layers, so it won't be finished tonight. But you just got to keep working it until you get the right shape, and then you can add details, and then hopefully it comes together. What we got? Find yourself a hot girl here. What the hell is that? We need a moderator. Yeah, I guess we do. Find yourself a hot girl here. Is it that easy? You just click on on the spam. Get a hot girl. It's weird. All right, where we at? All right. Joseph, are you on the bench? Are you working as well right now? Joseph Fresh is a fellow artist. He has some serious talent with the like model kits and things. He's like a wizard with that stuff, and he's always like rebuilding a vintage toy. Which, if y'all don't know what vintage toys are, you're missing out. What we got? There was a scene in one comic where Death's Head is wearing a blonde wig. I'm on the bench, yes, sir. I think it said Cobra Lamprey. These comments keep fading away as I'm reading them. It's ridiculous. Cobra Lamprey. Which one is that? Lamprey. I think I remember the Lamprey. All right. I think I got the shape of her head kind of how I want it. She's almost like got a cone head-ish thing going on, which has wisps, if you will, of hair strands going around and stuff. All right, so what I'm going to do is see how it's got her hair's kind of like to a point. I'm going to get it away from her. Now this thing is not a blade that I'm using, but it is thin enough, it kind of acts like one. Whatever you call the human, yeah. It's awesome. Okay, I see the rest of your first comment. She has a little bit of sideburn action going on. The other thing that, yeah, let's go like that. Little, the other thing is, this is the first time I've held in my hand one of these face printed, you can't see it, but one of these face printed figures from Hasbro. I don't know. They're really strange. The face printing is really strange. Like, it's interesting and I see where it could work, but I don't know. For me, it doesn't. It's weird. Looks like it's got a bunch of like weird goop. Not into weird goop very much. This is gonna be one of those live streams that's like probably not very interesting to watch, not when it's not live, because you won't be able to interact. So you guys are getting the best part of it, being able to like interact. Anyway, finished product will look cool. So her hair, all right, see, here's a good, I think Jessica Jones is an early example of face printing. You're probably right, Charlie. I find you're usually right about most things, which is awesome. Charlie Gushy in the house. Be careful, I got little Egoom. My dog's hairs get in sometimes. You just gotta like grab those out. But if you ever get a commission from me and you want extra dog hair in it, let me know. I can make that happen too. All right. This kind of goes like whoosh, swoops down over that. That one swoops down over her eye. Get rid of that. I guess I need to figure out a better, like, I haven't figured out StreamYard. I need to. I guess I need to figure out a better way to videotape myself while I'm working. All right, I need to be able to see one eyebrow. Let's get rid of that. Newer ones either have really good paint apps, bringing the others, inkjet printing, pattern looks. God, they keep fading away so fast. Yeah, I like painting by hand. I don't even know how the robot's gonna know like to get how to get the the paint in the right spot. It's just so strange. All right. The other thing is when you're doing hair, since you're gonna be um, like making waves in it, hair strands in it, you don't necessarily. It doesn't necessarily have to be like perfectly smooth when you start to go into it. Um, get that over there. Almost looks like she just got out of the shower and she's wearing a towel on her head. Strange. She's got her hair drying. All right. I want to see what happens when I use. Oh, my other tool, my other favorite tool. I forgot to show you guys. It's this. I think it's like some kind of a knitting tool or ice pick or I don't know what the heck that is. This thing is awesome. You can do so much with this. All right, so you won't be able to see it. Excuse me. Maybe if I put it there. This is my little juices, my um, safety solvent. What this does, the thing this water works fine, but the thing that this does better than water is it kind of like it says solvent, it kind of dissolves the epoxy, makes it smoother. Water works too, but water can make it grainy sometimes if you want a super smooth surface. So I use this to like keep the surface smooth. Um, so I just dip my finger and kind of go over where I need to get any like marks out of it that I don't want. Fingerprints, make sure you get your fingerprints out of it. I don't need this ear over here to show, so I'm going to cover that up. This hair is definitely going to be done in layers. And do I need that ear? I think I need this ear over here. I'll leave that. Get that down. And if you press like I'm doing, so I added some pieces here to cover her ear. What I do is I press and wipe a little bit like that to blend it in. And then once you get that, you kind of have to like reshape just a little. Get rid of the excess. It's like hanging off the back of her neck. Hope you guys can't hear what's happening in the background. And then a little more solvent, smooth it out. I also recommend having a rag in your lap so that you can, as you use the solvent, it'll get white on your finger, which is the epoxy sort of breaking down a little bit. You don't want to put that. Ouch! You don't want to put that on your clothes. It makes it actually hardens your clothes. So I've had like I'll wipe my finger on my lap or my leg or something, and then my jeans get all weird and hard. I don't know, it's something gross. All right. I'm going to start with her part line down the center of her head with my little do guy here. Start getting some details. So I just kind of like get it in and go down the center. Okay. So that's the center of her head. Okay. And then from there, dip. So her hair, I got two options for this. I can push and drag with my tool here, or I can use my silicone brush tip. Make sure you clean these things off or they get hard. Clean them after you use them. Sometimes I forget to do that. All right, so if I bring it, and it's just like painting. Just bring it down, get some details going. I'm just painting, pressing details into her hair. Try to get some and as you drag it, this or any other tool, you'll drag up parts, little crumbles, little scrimbles of sculpt with it. Don't worry about that. You can always get some of this the what you call your solvent, and lightly with a fine brush paint over it, and it'll smooth everything out. And remember, hair usually isn't perfect. If you look at your Marvel Legends figures, you can see hairlines and kind of how they work with the shape that the shape of the figure's head. Sorry, there's a lot of contrast in that shot because of the white of this epoxy. What we got? Newer ones, blah, blah, blah. M1K3 from, I think that says from Detroit. Awesome. I recognize you. You've got a lot of questions. um, as I was saying earlier, I tend to address questions as much as I can, but I especially address them on Patreon when people have them. All right, so let's see. I think the most important thing when sculpting hair like this is you get that shape, but then you also want to make sure that you don't want too much on the top, so that you don't want it to look bulbous, you know. Run this down the center. I also, once I get details in, I always come back. So I'm kind of going back and forth between, like you finish something and you think you're done with it, but then you end up coming back to it. I guess is what I'm trying to say. Finalizing the details, fixing stuff that you started a certain way. All right, so what I want to do now, that's the other thing, when you clean your silicone tip brushes with that safety solvent, helps a lot. So see if you guys can see what I got going on here. Also, I just realized it's backwards. Is it backwards? No, maybe it's not. Never mind. You can see the lines that I made. There's a little bit of texture. You can see the shape of her hair covering this eye. I left this eye obviously uncovered for several reasons, because she needs to see, but also because she has a piercing in her eyebrow and a tattoo on her top of her face that I'm gonna have to paint. So I want to make sure I've got enough canvas, face canvas, to be able to do that. I have here a brush. Where's my brush? Where's my brushy do? Use this guy. A relatively soft brush, okay? And I'm gonna get some of the safety solvent on it, and I'm gonna go and just kind of like smooth out some of these details where there's like little granules of sculpt that have been dragged. I think my dog's about to bark at something. Just warning, heads up. Blow the excess sculpt off. Get it out of there. All right. Now, some of these grooves on the hair aren't deep enough, and I could do the thing about this epoxy sculpt is you only get so much time working with it before you got to mix more. I still have plenty of time to use my extra that I mixed, but as you work with it on her head, it starts to harden, and you lose the ability to use your silicone brushes. So that's where stuff like this guy comes in handy, because I can make these grooves in her hair a little bit deeper. The other thing I want is, where's that? So take the brush that I use, it's dry, and I'm just going to soak up some of this extra stuff, you can also use this for texturing, which is really cool. Okay. What else? All right, so these grooves on her hair, I want to make them a little, just some of them, a little deeper than the others. And I kind of, you can see I'm like rolling over her head like that. Roll. Set a groove and roll. And I'm only rolling as far as her part down the center, which is like right here, right there. So I roll into the part. You can also roll away from the part. And it just kind of gives it a little bit extra detail. Certain areas of her hair. I especially want these extra grooves towards the bottom, where the hair is, it comes apart. The hair strands come apart. You don't want it to look like this one, like blob, like she's wearing a kind of weird hat. It's not what you want. Might be a cool hat though. Hey buddy, it's okay. Don't worry about it. It's okay, Egoon. How's everybody doing? Who's still out there? Fresh, you still out there? Charlie? Detroit, you still out there? All right. Who's there? Detroit. Yep. I'm going to assume you live in Detroit. I just watched one of my buddies who is from Detroit was just in town. But I just watched Barbarian. Have you seen Barbarian? If you haven't seen it, it's a horror movie. It's terrifying. It takes place in and around Detroit. I wonder if you know anything about it. It's about an Airbnb gone bad. I'm here just finished filling an elbow crack on the lamprey, sweating. Yeah, Joseph is a sweaty. No, I'm kidding. He is though. He's a toy sweaty, just like me. Did you use your UV thing? I haven't seen it yet, actually, in Detroit. If you like horror movies, man, check it out. I mean, it's absolutely terrifying. I thought maybe I'm just a silly man, but I thought it's really good. I love horror movies. I do a horror podcast when I have time called Death by Podcast. Um, I love horror movies. Now I'm using my silicone tip brush, and I'm literally like brushing the epoxy away from her hair where I don't want it to be, and I'm creating a kind of like groove between her face and the hair. UV cured resin negative. This round was baking soda and some kind of cyanide. Sweaty. Haven't heard that in a while. I miss John Schnepp, who used to say that. Man, brick something. I'm the biggest John Schnepp fan, and that's exactly where I got it from. So it's good. It's awesome that somebody noticed that. John Schnepp was too good. The guy was too good. I used to watch him on Collider all the time, like every day. I look forward to his stuff. Good to see another fan. Most people don't catch that, but I use it all the time. Those and people who do catch it always say John Schnepp. I'm like, yeah, man, John Schnepp was awesome. So I'm just going back over, uh, making some details here and there on her hair. Also, when I'm done with this, I'll post a picture on Instagram of my progress, what I did tonight, so you guys can see it a little more clear. But I really appreciate y'all hanging tonight. I haven't done a live stream in a while on YouTube or at all. So let me know if this is something you guys would watch more of. All right, I'm looking at her hair. I like it. I like what's going on. I need to. Where's my brush? Who's got my brush? This guy does. I wish you could see. Let's see. Let's see if we can see. All right, if you look closely, there's little. Let's see, right around like here. There's a little granule. There's little granules every once in a while from when I drag my silicone brush. So all you gotta do is just I dip in the safety solvent with a soft brush. You don't want too much, and I just kind of like gently brush over that just to like smooth it out. It dissolves, blends your sculpt together. Awesome. Was the last stream the one I caught where you were doing 375 giveaway auction? That's exactly what it was. That was for the charity for our friend in the neighborhood, Basil, who was a corgi puppy. He had cancer surgery, and his mom was raising money. I auctioned that Hulk off. That one and the Silver Surfer went for $100 each on eBay, which I was hoping for more, but that was $200 towards Basil's surgery. So thank you to the community for getting that done. That Hulk was an awesome figure. I really dug that one. What else? I want to say this. I want to say this might be good. What am I missing? What am I missing? I get a couple more details around her ear. Just a little jaggedy details. I don't like that, what I just did, so I'm going to get this. Ow, elbow. Catastrophe. All right. You should be able to see the texture, the shape, the lines a little bit. I wonder what would happen if I did this. Let's see what happens. Too dark. I do this. Too dark. Anyway. You can see the shape of her head. starting place. You can see the lines. Let's see. Focus. Focus. It's not going to focus. You can see the lines in her hair that I sculpted. And again, I'll post pictures on Instagram, some good pictures. So from here, if you can imagine, she's very punk. She's got like tattoos all over her and crazy necklaces and snake things. She's got a shirt that has like iridescent paint and stuff. Look up Talia Warroad. You'll see what I'm talking about from Ghost Rider. So her hair, Smoking AC, looks great. Thank you, sir. It's going to have, I'm going to come back in. I can't touch it now. We have to be very careful at this stage because it's still mushy. It hasn't cured. This epoxy, this 2-part epoxy right there, will cure. It'll harden in about an hour or so. Like if she fell over onto her head, it should be okay. But it's not going to be fully cured to the point where I could carve or sand it for like at least 8 hours, 12 hours. I give it overnight and I come back to it. So she's going to have little wisps. I'm going to come in for a second round. She'll have little wisps and spiky bits that I'll add next. But we got the shape, we got the base. That's all I wanted. And yeah, she's going to be a cool character when she's done. So before I sign off, any questions, comments, anything while I'm here from anybody? What's going on? There you go. She also has, let's see, she's got her jacket, and then at the back of the jacket, I'm going to sculpt a hood on the back, which is going to be cool. For those who just tuned in, I'm going to give you one last tease of this upcoming project. Ready? Here it comes. Get ready. Everybody sitting down. Look at that. Look at that. That's enough. Go away. That's an upcoming project. Really cool. Let's see. I need to get some of this epoxy. I haven't yet. I don't know if you were here, Joseph, when I said it at the beginning. Don't get this giant tub. See the other one over there? It's 2-part. That's A, this is B, or this is B, and this A, something like that. They come in smaller, like, you can get like actually almost like this big, like, I don't know how many ounces, but you can get really small ones so you can like test it before you go all in. But this tub is too big, these 2 tubs, because you're using a part from each, and mixing it. So I've had these 2 tubs for well over probably 3 years now. It was the last time I had a share thing. So anyway, get the smaller ones, you'll go through it quicker, and then it won't sit around and get weird like mine's starting to do. Anyway, I don't want to ramble or prolong, so if you guys are good, I'm going to sign off. Check out the Patreon if you want. Behind the scenes tutorials. My podcast, You Like Toys. I think Joseph and Charlie will attest to that being a fun Q&A that we do about every week. Also, that's the only place I'm taking commissions, but right now my commissions are pretty full. I got a lot to catch up on. But stay frosty. You too, Charlie. Love to Ripley. Give her a hug. But thank you guys for tuning in. If you're interested in the Patreon, it's patreon.com/actoydesign. You can find me. I do a test. So you can find me all over the place. Social media, AC Toy Design, Adam Crohn. And thanks for being here. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going to sign off. You guys be safe. Merry Christmas. I'll see you before then, though, hopefully. Do another one of these. All right. I'm out. Thanks for tuning in, guys. Get your oats.